with a bunch of friends. Very happy to be able to do this with everyone. I'm gonna be restoring Ben's motorcycle. It's a 2003 100th anniversary Dyna Wide Glide. It's a FXDWG. For anybody that is interested in, maybe telling me a story about Ben, about how you met, about, maybe a trip that you took together, anything that you guys be willing to share with me, I'm going to be very happy to take it in. I'd like to get some friends and family who are local, if they're willing to, come over, come hang out. I'm going to have the bike at my shop here shortly. Right now it's in the garage here at home. I've been going out there every day for 4 or 5 days, checking it out and looking at it and whatnot. And then this is a video, will have a little bit of that in it too, so just bear with me. Sometimes I do pause and choke up. I'll lose my train of thought on what I'm talking about or whatever. I'm looking at the bike and I start thinking about them and thinking about different things that we did together over the years. But so here's my story about how I met Ben. I met Ben through Dave O'Connell. Me and Dave worked together at a Ford dealer, and we kind of just became buddies. And Dave had a bike, and I had a bike, and we would go to bike nights and just do, hang out and stuff. And obviously Dave and Ben had been friends since they were young kids, and that's how I met Ben, was through Dave. We were at a bike night, Quaker Steak in Valley View, Ohio, and I had a custom built chopper at the time, and the bike, it was finicky sometimes and would do things that made me unhappy. We'll say that. Do things that made me unhappy. That's a nice way of saying it. So the night that I met Ben, we were all meeting up at Quaker Steak, and we were going to go on a cruise afterwards, just go through the parkway, just hang out, do some riding and have fun. And his girlfriend at the time, Peggy, I actually knew her from when I was younger. I was friends with her brothers and friends with some of the people she knew as well, and so I kind of knew her already. And that made it, an easygoing situation. We all met. I kind of knew her already. It was like, oh, hey, how you doing? Blah, 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 this and that. And, Ben treated me like he knew me for 20 years. He treated me like we had been friends for 20 years. And there was zero lag between meeting him and becoming his friend. It was instantly we were friends. And any of you that know him know that's really how he was. He didn't meet anybody that wasn't his friend. And, that really became true. Over the years, it really, really became true. Everywhere we went, he befriended everyone. He was a very respectable, smart, and caring guy, and he showed that, to everyone all the time. So, but yeah, we met that night, and my bike was having some problems, and we were in a weird construction zone, and I was kind of upset over the bike, and he really he helped me keep my cool on the situation, and he pretty much told me hey man, don't even worry about it. We ain't leaving you till your bike's on the trailer or your bike is riding home. And yeah, we stuck it out. We got the bike back running. I just had some power issues between the battery and the charging system, and we got it fixed right there on the side of the road in a little construction spot. And we went cruising that night, and we went riding, and we went through some parkways and went here, went there, went here, and we went to I think we went to one of a bar that Dave liked a girl at, and we went there, and we did that frequently, if one of the guys was, we were all hanging out with, they had a girlfriend that worked somewhere or whatever, we would go to their place, and, we would get food and, have a beer and, just kind of, talk cars and bikes and just hang out, and, at the end of the night, it'd be midnight, whatever, we'd all go our separate ways and ride home. and it just kind of really became real frequent. We did that 2-3 nights a week, different bike nights, and we just all became like real close friends. And we started doing some riding trips together. We all went to West Virginia one time. It was really a lot of fun. And one of the times I went on a solo trip with Ben was we went through Pennsylvania, and we put 900 miles on the bikes in 3 days, and it was like we just couldn't get enough. And we went to 8 or 9 Harley dealers, and we saw randomly there was a roller derby going on at a Harley dealer, and of course Ben was all over that. And we saw the Little League World Series. It was the World Series game. We just happened to be riding all over. When we were in Pennsylvania, we seen the blimp up in the air. We're like, hey, let's go chase the blimp. Wonder what they're doing. And we ran into the Little League World Series. And, we saw roller derby. We saw Little League World Series. We went to 9 different Harley dealers. We saw it was just an amazing trip. I can't recall the name of the national forest that we went through, but we're cruising through the national forest, and there was really no other cars around. It was surprising because of how beautiful it was. It got chilly at night still. I believe it was late in the year, and it was getting chilly at night. So we were riding along, and we would find a place to stay, and then first thing in the morning we'd get up and just ride all day long. No highways, all state route roads. We left my house here in Amherst. We cruised 480 to the border, and then we hit up a Harley dealer in Youngstown, and then from there on out it was just state route roads the rest of the way, no highways for the rest of the weekend, up until we got back into Ohio. And when we got back into Ohio, we wanted to get to have dinner with my now wife. We hurried up and we got on 480 again. I believe it was 480. Man, it's been a long time. But yeah, the trip was one of those trips that was really memorable. I'll never forget the conversations that we had during the trip. I'll never forget, the stops that we made, along the rivers. There was a couple waterfalls. The roller derby was so cool, and the Little League World Series. And I was coaching Little League baseball at the time, so that was like really, really cool to actually see that. I've always seen it on TV and heard about it, and I always was like, oh, one day I'll maybe make it there. And we happened to just come across it, not knowing it was there, and it was so much fun. And I got a belt buckle from one of the dealers, and every time I put it on, I think of the trip, and I think of the conversations we had, and the fun we had, the steak we ate at this obscure restaurant / hotel / I don't even know what you want to call it. And so yeah, what a great trip. So, but anyways, I don't want to take up too much of your time. I just want everyone to know that we are in the process of getting parts to restore the motorcycle, and I hope that I can get some people to drive with me, however their mode of transportation will be, from Northern Ohio to Myrtle Beach for the celebration of life in September. I'm going to be riding the motorcycle down. So please contact me at Coach216 on Instagram or John Coates on Facebook. Please message me, get a hold of me any way you can. I want to say thanks for watching, and I hope that this whole process that I'm going to go through with the bike, rebuilding it, and I hope that some of the stories that I can get some friends and family to come and tell while we tinker with the bike and work on it, and maybe give some people some perspective as to the kind of friend and the kind of family member and honestly all around great guy Ben was. He really was one of the best of us. And without really getting too far into detail, a lot of us who are watching right now, we know what happened. Unfortunately, Ben had an accident where he passed. He was an avid motorcycle rider. I mean, I don't know anyone that rode as much as Ben did. He rode all over the country. He rode in other countries. He took this bike everywhere with him. It was his passion, it was his life, it was his love. It's something that he would never stop doing, no matter what happened. He was in a major accident in Alaska many years ago, and people I think at the time were like, hey, maybe you should, not ride anymore. And he pretty much laughed everyone off, told everybody they were crazy, and that he was going to ride the rest of his life until he was old and couldn't ride anymore, and then he would probably get someone else to ride him around, because that's how much he loved to ride a motorcycle. I think he had, between flying and riding, those were the two things that were his passion in life. And we were hoping to keep that going by redoing the bike and rebuilding it. I'm not going to get really into detail as far as what I think happened, or how did the accident happen, because we really don't know. And we can all speculate as to what might have happened, if it whatnot. But I think I want to really keep this series of rebuilding the bike about Ben and the history he had with the bike, and about Ben and his friends and family. So I'm gonna be doing a series in a way that I'm rebuilding the bike with his friends and family. I'm gonna try to get as many people as I can that are local to me to come and hang out with me and tell me some stories, and hopefully they'll be comfortable talking about the stories on camera. And we'll keep it as PG as possible for any of you youngins that are interested in watching what's going on. But without further ado, I'm gonna flip the camera around, and we're gonna get kind of a glimpse at the bike for the first time in video, and everyone can kind of see what's going on. And we're not gonna really get too much detail about everything else. I think from here on out, this is gonna be about the bike, about friends, about family, about Ben's passions in life, and just overall about Ben's life in general. So let's get to it, and I'll get this camera flipped around and let's see what's going on. He just loved his motorcycle. He loved to be on the road. He loved to be on adventures. So let's start this adventure of the rebuild of Ben Boyle's bike.